All right, guys, I'm back with a video for this week. Today is Sunday, February 20th, 2022, and it looks like this is going to be quite a week as far as the weather goes for the Ohio Valley. We have several systems that will affect us this week, and it looks like by the end of the week, we could be looking at a winter storm. So before I get into that, I want to remind you about my pro site. If you haven't joined yet, I would love to have you join. You can join at www.patreon.com/Ohio Valley Weather, and you're going to see a lot of details there regarding the weather of the Ohio Valley. All right, so let's get into the models and start looking at what we're going to be seeing this week. All right, so this is the GFS model, and for today, you can see not much going on. We have high pressure over here. It's now actually centered over the Atlantic Ocean, and so the winds today are out of the southwest, and so things are warming up, and that warming trend is going to continue into Tuesday. You can see by Tuesday, the winds are going to be right out of the south, and that will really warm things up on Tuesday. By Tuesday, we could see temperatures up into the low 60s or maybe even mid 60s. But you can see we do have a system approaching from the west. And by Wednesday, that system in the form of a cold front coming from the west is going to be pushing into the Ohio Valley. And we're going to see, with winds still out of the south, it's going to be warm and humid, and we're going to get some rain by late Tuesday. And you can see from the oranges and the reds there will be some potential for some thunderstorms, perhaps even severe thunderstorms, and even a tornado would not be out of the question. By late Tuesday, all of that should be moving off to our east. But we have another system that will be coming, and you'll see it coming here by Wednesday. Here it comes. And this is actually late Wednesday into Thursday morning. And so by Thursday morning, we are going to have this low pressure system riding up that cold front, and it's going to bring snow to the Ohio Valley. It looks like the heaviest snow will be right along the I-70 corridor, maybe slightly more to the south, but pretty much central United States, or central Ohio Valley, excuse me, right along that I-70 corridor. But you see, it doesn't last long and it shouldn't really amount to much. If you want to look at the accumulation, this is the accumulation based on the GFS model, which is a pretty good average so far. And you can see right across central Ohio and even into Pennsylvania, we're looking at about an inch of snow through here, maybe a little bit more in southwestern Ohio, where we might get closer to 2 inches, but pretty much an inch of snow by Thursday morning across the counties that border along I-70. All right, now let's get back to the model and push this even further forward. And here we go, Monday warming up. There's the Tuesday into Wednesday. And there's that system that I just talked about. Now let's keep going into Thursday. Now you can see by Thursday, we're going to have a much stronger system approaching the Ohio Valley. And again, there's going to be this cold front right along the eastern United States. And this system is going to ride right along that cold front. On the south side of that system, there's going to be rain. On the north side, there's going to be snow. And right in the middle, there could be some freezing rain. And it looks like that middle could go right across the Ohio Valley. So the reds and the pinks here are freezing rain. The purple there would be sleet. And then everything to the north would be snow. And you can see that's some heavy snow there in northern Ohio. This keeps going into Friday morning, and you can see the freezing rain seems to expand even in southern Ohio. And still, though, we get some heavy snow in northern Ohio. And then by later in the morning on Friday, it starts to move out with a little bit of snow flurries on the backside for everybody. So let's look at what these accumulations look like, and we'll start by looking at the freezing rain. So this is the freezing rain that is being projected by the GFS model. And you can see these are some pretty high totals. There's 1.24, 1.36. There's 1.48, almost an inch and a half of freezing rain, all the way up through here. So with the GFS model, this is really similar to what we saw back for Martin Luther King Day back in January. Pretty much if you live south of US 22, you could be looking at some significant freezing rain. If the GFS model is right on this, I would expect that once again, we could see widespread power outages. Now, let's look at what another model is showing, though. Now, this is the GDPS model, which is the Canadian model. It shows a very similar situation, but it does take the freezing rain a little bit further to the north. Here, if we would draw a line, say, from about Youngstown down to Dayton, and then if you're south of that line, you would be looking at freezing rain. Along the Ohio River, though, it would actually be a lot better, not quite so much freezing rain this time if the Canadian model is right. Now, those are the only two models that I have right now that show freezing rain. But so if we take an average of those two models, this one you've got US 22 in south, and this one you've got about from Youngstown down to US 22. And so it does look like if you live along US 22, that is where the best chance of freezing rain is going to be with this storm. And again, this would be beginning Thursday and basically through the day on Friday. Now let's look at snow totals. So this would be the snow totals based on the European model. And you can see with the European model, the snow stays pretty far to the north. And then we have this big hole here where it looks like there's nothing or almost nothing. But that is because the European model is taking the freezing rain that far north. So even though this whole area would get very little snow, this is where the bulk of the freezing rain would end up being with the European model. Now, with the GFS model, the snow is much further south because remember with the GFS model, the freezing rain was pretty much down here closer along the Ohio River. And so again, north of US 22, you have much higher snow totals with 6 inches or more all through here. Over in here, 4 to 6 inches would be more common. But it's going to be a significant snowstorm, definitely for northern Ohio. This is the snow based on the GDPS model, which again is the Canadian. The Canadian model does keep the snow further to the north. Once again, though, don't be fooled by this because remember the Canadian model had this whole area getting freezing rain. So again, it does look like we're looking at some winter weather this week for the Ohio Valley. I will be posting more updates about this on my pro site. So if you haven't joined there yet, I invite you to do that. And once again, you can join that at www.patreon.com/Ohio Valley Weather. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.